Hi, let's talk about additional vocabulary support. Page 8.3. Let's get your name at the top of the paper so we know that it's yours. All right, there's a lot of vocabulary in this section involving trend lines and scatter plots. So some of these terms we've already discussed quite a bit, and some of these terms we really haven't mentioned at all. So let's find out new things. Just looking at the pictures that are given to us, some of these I bet you can figure out on your own. Let's look at number 2. What is this graph doing? What are these points doing? These points are kind of all moving in a direction. What direction are they moving in? An upward direction. So what did we say about points moving in an upward direction? That's right, it was a positive trend. And if you look on your list, you have positive correlation. Great. Mark that off. That doesn't look familiar yet. This doesn't look familiar yet. That looks familiar. What does this look like? I've got a scatter plot with a bunch of points and a line drawn through them. Got any good guesses? Hint, hint, the line. What about it? Oh yeah, that's a trend line. Mark that off your list. So someone drew a trend line through those points. That's cool. This, we don't know what this is yet, so that's fine. We'll wait on that one. Number 6. So there's a graph with points. Are those points headed in a specific general direction? No, not really. And what did we say, I think on the second page, maybe it's the third page, of what did we call that when the points just go everywhere? Yeah, we didn't even write it down, but you remembered. This is no correlation. Or no trend. That's another way to call it. So let's mark that off our list. All right, number 7. That doesn't look familiar yet. Neither does number 8. But number 9. Those points, are they heading in a kind of direction? Yeah. Are they headed in a positive direction or in a negative direction? That's right. This is a negative correlation. Super. Okay, so let's talk about these other words that we haven't learned before. So when we did all of those steps in the calculator, we used linear regression. We pushed menu, 6 for statistics, 1 for stat calculations, and then 3 for linear regression. So a linear regression is going to help you determine the line of best fit. It's another term for a trend line. It's just a little bit more precise, a little more exact. Trend line we draw. This linear regression can be calculated. Okay. So here on number 3. Number 3. This is something we haven't discussed at all yet. And this is in this table showing a correlation between the amount of time in hours that you practice and your grade in the class. Okay, so, usually the more you practice, the better you get at a skill. Usually that is the case. And one of the things you're going to be asked to determine if there is a causal relationship. Is there a cause and effect relationship? That's what's being discussed here. Yes, more practice causes an effect of a better grade in the class. There's a cause and effect relationship. So this is causal. Be careful how you spell that. It's different from casual. It's causal. Okay? So there's a cause and effect, and we're going to write that off to the side. There we go. Okay. Number 5. This doesn't look familiar at all. Except you might have noticed it in your calculator. When we did all of our calculations to get M and B for our line of best fit, we have here R. R. This R. That R is called a correlation coefficient. And that is the actual measure of how tightly the points on your scatter plot are bounded to your line of best fit, to your trend line. That's what it is. So here, in this particular piece of data, well, it always ranges. It always ranges between -1 and +1. It won't be bigger or smaller than this. And the closer it is to one of these ends, +1 or -1, the more tightly those points are bound to the trend line. So they might almost all be on the trend line. In this example, our R is 0.997. I don't know if you can see that in the glare, and I didn't want to blow it up yet. So 0.997, and that means these points are very, very close to being in a perfect, beautiful straight line. Not exact, but very close. My calculator's going to sleep. All right, so we have 2 more words to look at, and they are up here on our list of interpolation and extrapolation. Say that 10 times fast. So this is your big hint, inter and extra. So let's go down and look at number 7 and number 8. Number 7 is asking us to estimate the value of y when x is 3.5. Here is x, here is y. 3.5 would be here. Is that in the measured points, in the measured data, or is that something extra outside of the measured data? Let's look at 8. Here is x, here is y. Estimate the value of y when x is 1.5. Here is 1.5. Is that in the measured value of data, like in the points, or is that something extra off on the side? Okay, so this 3.5 is something extra added on at the end. This is extrapolation. This 1.5 happened in the middle of the points. This is interpolation. Okay, so now you have some great vocabulary. So let's go on to the next video and get some more skills.